I am in White, Georgia today, and we are going to take a full property tour of this home. It's on 10 acres, and I think for the right person, they're about to fall in love. So let's go. All right, so first, I do want to kind of start back here on the driveway because it is a circular driveway. So you can come up this way, and then of course it's going to circle down on the other end. Like I said, we're on 10 acres. Very peaceful. Now, one of the things people always want to see is, well, what will it look like across the road? So there you can see that's my car. Got a place up there that you could have chickens. Of course, with 10 acres, you could about have anything. So you can see off in the distance there a little bit, that's where the other driveway comes out. It's already got a cute little chicken coop up there. The house was built in 1970. Of course, it is natural colored brick. This isn't painted. This is the creamsicle color, as they call it. You can hear all the birds. I hope you can hear all the birds. I love that entry. I love how just kind of, you just don't see that a whole lot anymore. You've got the curved over the windows. Let me see if I can get you right in front of it. Yep. Now, interestingly enough, you see here, that's the driveway going back down to the road, but there's a secondary little area that when we look at the lower level, I think would be perfect if you needed an in-law suite or something like that, an apartment. All right, so one of the things you'll notice as you come in is that we're going to have some slate floors. Just kind of giving it that nice welcome that you don't see every day. Now, like I said, this house was built in 1970. And this is one that if you want to be able to do some updates, you're going to love it. If you're looking for something move-in ready, this would not be the house for you because we need some paint. I would think we need some new light fixtures, but this kind of thing you just can't find anymore. Now, when we come down here and we go to the bedrooms, that hallway is extra wide. I don't know if you can tell from this as well, but it definitely is. And this is only one of the two fireplaces that we're going to see. Of course, we've got outdoors, and we'll go out there in a minute, but that's a saltwater pool. So this would be considered the main living room to me. And then if we come through these French doors, let me back up a little bit. Sometimes I go too fast. If we come through these French doors, we've got a good size eat-in kitchen. I don't know if you can quite tell just how large that space is, overlooking the pool house and the pool, and then the back of the property. We've got plenty of cabinet space. All the appliances stay. And then right through this door, we would have saw this when we first come in, but I didn't point it out. You've got the formal dining room. So plenty of space. And then because this house was built in the 1970s, you've also have another living room. But you could do all kinds of things. So we'll just come right back here and kind of show you that we're right back at the front door. If you work from home, this could be a great office space too, if you wanted to have some views. All right, so if we go back this way, back into the kitchen, we do have the garage. I'm not gonna lie, the garage is where we've stored all of our stuff. So when I say we, I'm talking about the sellers. So we got a pantry there. And then this is really a laundry, more pantry space. Just nice shelving. You can also go outside from here, just to give you a little different view. And then back here, it's not really storage, but the electrical panel, a little bit of storage. It's actually bigger than I remembered. And then right back into the kitchen. And there's that fireplace. All right, so this area, other than paint, is pretty much, you know, you just want to make it your own. Now, as we come down this way, we're going to see we've got some great floors. And you can't tell probably on the video, but they don't squeak. And if you've ever been in older homes with squeaky floors or newer homes with squeaky floors, you know that can be an issue. So I can't wait to show you why they don't squeak. Let me just show you the closet spaces, because a lot of times people are with older homes, they don't have as much closet. So that's right by the front door. This is right by the bathroom. So we've got this bathroom here in the hallway. Now, if it was me, I would probably take that tub out and make that a walk-in shower. But that could just be me. Of course, still overlooking the backyard. Floors look pretty good, considering that they're, you know, probably from 1970 if I had to guess. All right, so we got that bathroom in the hall. Then this is going to go downstairs, so we're going to do that here in a second. Then this is a secondary bedroom. Good size windows. Mic up so you can kind of see how big they are. Really deep closet space. Let me find the light. There we go. So you got shelving on this side, shelving on that side. And then, so the intercom system, we think it still works. Now, I bet it needs some love after this long, but still. Another bedroom. I think this closet, you can see more of the space just because it's more empty. So it's got the shelving on one side and then shelving on the other side, kind of all the way up, all the way down. So some good space in here if you need good sized closets. And then this would be considered the owner's suite if you didn't want to reconfigure anything. So, because it's got the second bathroom, it's good size in here. Just a closet, but compared to some closets, good size. Of course, out the window. Plenty of natural light coming through. You can kind of see the land when we get out there is going to keep on going back and back. So we are going to walk a little bit. There I am in the mirror. So this is the owner's bathroom. Once again, no squeaky floors. And I do think that is such a benefit. Now, you can kind of just see, I'm going to see from here, if you can see how wide this is. All right, so let's head down to the lower level. Now, like I said, I think this would be great if you needed an in-law suite or just more space, because you have this area, and then you have over here, and then wait till you see whenever I turn this around. Oh, yep, that is a wood-burning fireplace with a little bit of a, well, I guess it's just a regular size fire grill. Yep, you could do some pizzas there. Okay, so let me show you what I was talking about, why the floors don't squeak. And this is the easiest place to kind of see that is in this storage room. All right, so we're going to look up. Okay, that did not look up. There we go. All right, can you see those? Those are steel trusses. So that means those floors are not going anywhere, and they run the length of the house. So that's why it's so steady. Now, the other thing it gave us the option for whenever they built this house was to not have to have load-bearing walls, because the trusses are steel. So it makes it nice and open. You also have a couple of rooms down here. So we're going to look at those. This is just basically a nice concrete storage room. Be great if you are like me and you ever worry about storms or anything like that. And then over on this side, you do have a full bath. Now, it probably needs some updating. You just don't see those cute little swans on doors anymore. But the good thing is the plumbing's here, and it is ready to be updated. And then in here, this could be a bedroom, because you do have a window, which is kind of nice. And you do have a closet. Now, the other thing you could do down here is, because we've got water down here, it wouldn't be too hard to put in some kind of, mini bar, mini kitchen, especially if you did have someone staying down here. And then this space here is where the driveway comes to. And, somebody could park right there if they needed their own entrance. So you've got over 4,000 square feet in this house and a lot of space. And, a couple of things that have been asked from people is, like, a lot of times people want to know what the school districts are. So we've got Pine Log Elementary. I'm having to think. It's kind of scary. Think, walk. But we've got, let me think now, Pine Log Elementary, Adairsville Middle School, and Adairsville High School. All right, so let's go out and just look over at some of the land. So funny how sometimes you can do doors easily and sometimes they stick. I do think let's start this way. Now, if you stick around all the way to the end, I'm also going to show you some drone footage that we have, just so you can kind of see the overhead view of the house, because sometimes that's fun. All right, so here is that little, I mean, it's almost like I'm curious, if you wanted to, you could maybe turn that into a little garage space. I don't know, that'd be a tiny car. I guess it's better for a lawnmower. But they could definitely park here if they were down there. So you've got all of this in the back, I mean in the front, and then as we turn around and start looking at the back, you're going to see it's pretty flat. Now, another question people have asked is, could they have, you know, horses or something like that? Yeah, with 10 acres, you definitely could. I believe they have in the past at one time. And it's kind of nice and cleared off, like you're not going to have to do a ton of work. I'm not going to walk the entire 10 acres, but I do want to walk enough of it that you kind of get a feel for what the acreage looks like. So it kind of keeps on going back there. You can see at one time, if you look closely, he's got some targets in case you wanted to do some bow and arrows or whatever. And there is, we're kind of at the back. Although you can see we still got a good ways to go back there. No, no. Turn it around. There we go. All right, so let's swing up this way now. I was trying to think if there's anything else. If I was looking at this property, I would want to see or know more about. So the pool is a saltwater pool. I am going to walk us over there. It's hard to tell the shape, but it's not the standard shape we see all the time nowadays. But we got to go check out this chicken coop. It's very peaceful out here. I think those are, I don't know, that might be a dogwood tree. I'm not a tree expert, but I know there's some fruit trees, and I think they were pear trees. That could be what those are. If somebody knows for sure, you'll have to let me know in the comments. That's definitely some type of fruit tree. Let's see if I can get this in there. Yep. All right. Now, people have said, well, does the tractor stay? I can tell you they're willing to consider it. So if it's something you think you want or need, if you're making an offer, they're open to you asking for it. Do you see the hydrangeas down there? I'm gonna walk down there and then we're gonna check out the pool a little closer. I mean, this is a personal thing. I love hydrangeas and I'm just curious. Mine at home are not growing any greenery on them yet, so I'm a little bit curious if theirs are. Nope. but I can promise you they're gonna be gorgeous whenever they do come out. All right, so let's check out that pool. Run back through the house. I just want to run like from the pool to the front door. And then we will wrap this tour up. Now, I know someone is saying, okay, you said you were in White, but what's the actual address, Jenny? So we are at 400 Simpson Road over in White, Georgia. All right, so let's get a little closer on the pool. So now, interestingly enough, there is still a well. They don't use it. They use county water. But probably at one time, it was for the pool. But he said, you know, with it being it's just easier with the county water. All right, let's see. I guess I'm walking all the way around the pool, just so you can kind of see everything that you might want to see. I'm kind of giving you a tour, like a little bit of a tour, like if you were just out here walking with me and we were looking at this house together. And of course, if you want to see it in person, we would love to show it to you. If you have questions after watching this video, of course, you can either email me or call me or drop them down in the comments. All right, so that door, I feel like it's how I'm opening it more than anything. A little bit more slate floors here. So you got those as you come in and as you go out. Still love that. All right, so let's go out here and then we will get the drone up and running so that you can see what it looks like overhead. All right, you ready? Let's get the drone.